Planet's primary ignition.
Hi, this is author Timothy Zahn. You're listening to Virtual Cantina Network.
Nice choice. Up. Got to change the layout.
There we go. I'm actually just going to remove the overlay for a second so we can see everyone a little bit better. Hi, everyone.
Bright suns, everyone. Welcome
Greetings.
to the last night of the Celebration Nightly News. We're going to be covering everything from Celebration Japan and maybe even give a little peek about some things we may have heard about Andor. I'm Sherry. You've probably seen me on commenting a lot on various shows. I'm here with Kat, who's one of our hosts of the Unifying Force. Mark Van Olen, who's with Clone Wars Revisited. And I see Bryce has joined us. Bryce, I always get the name of your show wrong.
Hey, it's Jedi Archives.
Jedi Archives. I don't know why I can't remember that one.
That's okay. No worries.
And it looks like we lost Jeff.
I booted him.
You booted him.
I booted him. He's in the background.
Change the layout.
Yeah, can I get a layout that has
Get the one that's next to the main single one. There's a multi one. Looks like two on the left.
That's just everyone.
There we go.
There.
Success.
And there we have Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
How are
Greetings
you,
from
Jeff?
the future. I'm
Greetings.
good. Very tired. Very, very tired. Been here for a week and a day today, and gonna fly home out of Haneda in a few hours. I think our flight's in about 7 or 8 hours from now. So we're gonna do a little more exploring and hit a literally last second show that I booked, and rush it to the airport after that. And we got our luggage has already been sent off from the hotel lobby by a agency that does a whole bunch of luggage transfers. There's luggage everywhere in all these hotels when you go in. Thankfully, we were able to get an easy transport from the first airport, where we were able to, they put the luggage underneath the bus, and we drove, and they dropped us off, and we walked like a block to our hotel. And then that hotel was able to send the luggage to this hotel, and now this hotel is sending the luggage to the airport. So it's an interesting process. Definitely worth it, because trying to navigate some of this area with a big old roller bag or any kind of suitcase is not something you want to mess around with. So but yeah, right now I'm just sort of chilling for a few minutes before checkout time, and then we're going to go catch a train I think we're going back to Shinjuku, maybe see some other minor things around that we missed, and go to the show, and then jump on the Shinjuku station train and get to Haneda. So it's been an interesting week, and I'm glad it's over, but if it was still going,
You'd still be going.
I'm one of those as well, where I don't get tired. I just run myself ragged until I literally pass out. So I
was doing a lot of that.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you guys had the time of your lives. We wanted to get you on air if we could while you're in Japan to give us a little recap of everything. I know you're going to be on the Thursday night watch along for Andor Season 2, Eps 1 and 2, and you'll have to share more of your experiences. But right off the bat, while it's still fresh, what were a couple of the highlights for you while you were out there?
Let's see. It was interesting to cosplay in a different country. Got a lot of amazing reactions. Lots of nervous children being pushed forward by their parents. That was fun. What else? Obviously being by the live stage on day one.
Mm-hmm.
The Hayden panel, we walked right up as he walked out to talk about his stuff, and was able to get April's daughter Layla a t-shirt that he shot out of this t-shirt cannon, hit my hand, fell into Lamont's hands, and ultimately the one who was most anxious of seeing Hayden ended up with the shirt, so that's fun.
Good. I forgot that Lamont is like a huge Hayden fan.
Well, he wasn't. No, he caught it, but we gave it to Layla. So Layla was the one. She was
that
the
makes
one
more
that
sense.
Was like, she was the one that was all about being there for that, and we happened to walk up right when it happened. When the panel was over, he shot the cannon, and we got one of the shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have kept it, but she seemed very much about it, so she ended up keeping it. So that was the first day, Friday. We were at that live stage, and from the point where we started and watched Hayden, we were 50 people deep at least, and as things progressed, people would kind of ebb and flow, and so we moved up until finally for John Favreau and Sigourney Weaver, we were right on the rail behind where they sat, and so I posted a video the other day of them waving to the fans and me yelling stuff at them. It was fun, and I got some great reactions from them, and so that was a lot of fun. It was a little difficult on my bad knees and my foot, but I bared with it and was able to get right up on the rail and be able to rest my foot on it. And then we took off from there and started exploring a little bit more. But every time we came back to the live stage, there was something amazing going on. We walked up when Ahmed was making his announcements, and then Ashley came out. We were there for Mads Mikkelsen and his little chat, and we were there for Dave, and Dave came out with Pedro, and that was a lot of fun there, and they get along really well, so it's always fun to see them like ribbing each other, and Pedro wearing Dave's hat. I've seen him do it a couple times before, and we ended up staying over there at the live stage for the last few things, including the closing ceremonies, and got the announcement from that stage, which was very cool. And LA 2027.
I'm very, very excited about LA, as most of us are on this call as well. I think we're all excited that, one, it's America. Two, it's your home base.
I was gonna say, Jeff, you can walk there, right? You can
I wish. I can. It's a 20-minute drive if there's no traffic from my house to downtown. If on any given time, any given day, could be an hour and a half. But I'm likely to get me a hotel room downtown somewhere. So even if I do have to drive or commute, it'll be a short one. There is a train that runs near the convention center. So if you can get a hotel that's off of that train, you're likely to have a better experience in terms of getting in and out, although it will be packed, daily going in and coming out. But our train system sucks compared to here, but this train system is insane and very confusing. We got long lost a couple times at least, and went the wrong way and had to double back, and doubling back isn't as easy as it sounds. So you might be more familiar in New York with that kind of thing, Mark, but
we have a huge subway system.
Yeah,
I think it's very intuitive, but anyone in another country where the language is not your first, and if you don't follow the directions exactly and you get turned around, or if some incident happens that changes your plans. Look, there were times in London where I was like, where am I? Why can't I figure things out? It's English. And it looks like America. It's just you drive on the left. And there were still issues. But I do think LA is going to be easily navigatable for the most part, because everything will be so centralized. But here's the other thing. I can't talk about 2027. We're still recapping what the hell had happened from the past couple days. Spencer already called me with plans, and I was like, girl, tomorrow.
Yeah, he was
Right.
making announcements for next year, and
Well, yeah,
so
now
yeah, it was an amazing con. There was it was set up kind of interestingly, and of course there was problems, which always happen. Thankfully, I didn't really have to deal with any of that. I didn't order any autographs. I did get a couple. Well, I got one. I got John
Who'd you meet?
Favreau. I ran across John Favreau and got him to sign my badge here. It's hard to see.
Up.
In
That's awesome.
silver right there.
That's amazing.
He and Kathleen Kennedy were walking or being escorted through the show floor by probably flanked by like 8 or 10 security, and we just happened to like meet him at this intersection as they turned as we were walking. And I'd see John because he's tall and big, and he's at the front, like leading the way, looking at everything. But like he was speed walking, and Kathleen was trying to keep up with him, and all the security was sort of, keeping up with him. And I look over, and Kathleen's like literally like arms length away from me, and I was like, "Hi, Kathleen, how you doing?" She's like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" I was like, "Great announcement so far. It's been fun." And she's like, "Thank you." And then they continued on, and I kind of squeezed past the security to try to catch up with John, which was very difficult. But the one thing that did help me was anything Grogu related. There was a lot of big Grogus and things around. He would stop and take photos. So I posted a photo the other day of him taking a picture of Kathleen with a fan in front of the big plush looking Grogu.
Oh, that's
that was
cool.
literally like a minute before I got him to sign my badge. So that was an amazing kind of interaction experience. The other cool thing, I didn't get an autograph from him, but I did meet and get a photo with John Knoll, who was one of the people that I'd actually thought about trying to get an autograph from. He was coming into the convention center as we were going to the celebration stage for the Visions panel on Sunday morning. So I was glad to get in the celebration stage because I hadn't been there yet. We watched Andor from the Galaxy stage, which was one of the side stages, which had a lot of great stuff on it, but they were using as overflow for the big panels. And didn't see Ahsoka, but I heard good things. And I didn't see the Grogu Mando stuff because that was like when I got in to get my panel stuff, that was long gone. So, we were walking around. We actually at the live stage from, right after that panel ended till, middle of the day or something on Friday. So we heard some of what they were talking about because we were next to the Galaxy stage. And the way they had them set up was they weren't walled off. They were curtained off. So you could hear what was going on in the stage just by standing out near the queue line. So it was kind of funny that way. But it was a lot of fun stuff, a lot of great booths, tons of people. I was amazed at how packed it got. Amazing cosplays, both from, Japanese people as well as all the international folks that came in. So it was a lot of fun, but those two interactions were probably my favorite just because they were the people that are, behind the scenes and that kind of stuff. Oh, and of course, like I said, Sigourney on stage blew me a kiss.
That's very cool.
Made your day.
Yeah. It was a strong way to start that con, that's for sure. So I don't know what time it is. So guys, if you guys could keep tabs for that, I do have to check out of my hotel here before 11 my time, which right now it's 10 something. So
yep, it's 10:15 your time.
Okay.
So at 10:30, we're gonna we're gonna boot you.
Give me
and
the
then
heat.
we're gonna put you. We're gonna release the trapdoor, and then we're gonna go into the PowerPoint for one last sort of run through of all the big stuff.
Were you able to get the thing to share, or are you still having issues?
It's seemingly, I don't know. So we'll figure it out. Yeah.
You guys did a great job on everybody on all the episodes that I've watched. After the fact, and I was in live for one of the chats for I think yesterday because the con was over and we were just chilling up here in the hotel. But everybody's been great and lots of good info, and it's good to see all the photos and things that I missed because you can't see everything at Celebration unless you're like insane and plan it to the minute.
Yeah,
and I can't do that.
I don't know of anyone who's ever seen it all.
Yeah, I do more of a celebration, sort of play it by feel and go start to do things. And then if other things happen, like our time at the live stage on Friday, then I just roll with it. Uh-oh, I got a phone call.
Hmm.
I think they're
telling you to log out.
They're
Yeah,
I know
telling you
that's
gotta go bye-bye.
They're
Give
like,
me 1
sir,
second.
you're being forcibly removed from the country.
Hello?
But yeah,
kind of rolling with it is what I
That was
do
weird.
at the celebrations too, and
Mhm.
it's how I happened to catch Ewan on the live stage back in Anaheim. Was
Right.
it was the first time I made it over there, and so
Yeah,
I
you
just
never
seemed
know
to
who you're
time
gonna
it just
happen
right.
across. There's like, it's weird. Like I saw photos of people with all kinds of different people sort of randomly throughout the convention center and other parts of town. In the past, we went to a panel that was the guys from Robot Chicken for a show called Detours that never came to be, which was a
I
lot
was
of
at
fun.
that panel. I was
Yeah.
at that panel.
So George showed up, which was awesome.
Hmm.
And then we were leaving. Oh, my little thing came up. We were leaving and we went out the side way and there was a restroom there and everybody's like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom. And so I'm hanging out waiting for them to come out of the restroom. And all of a sudden out this side door, here comes George Lucas with a couple security guards. And then a bunch of people were like, autograph, please. And I was like, and I grabbed my badge. And so now John is going to add to my collection, which is George on a Celebration badge and JJ on a Celebration badge, along with Jon Favreau.
That's
Oh, cool.
crazy.
Well, hopefully in LA you can get Dave on a Celebration badge.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah,
Or
that
Mark.
would be fun.
It was fun to be in Japan with Dave. I mean, not with him, but hearing him talk about things, because he's a huge Godzilla fan, and that's the last time I actually was face to face with him and told him about a guy named Dave Filoni. It was at the Shin Godzilla U.S. premiere here right after the end of the strike. It was one of the first premieres that actually happened, and it was a big deal. And I didn't realize it was more than just a screening. And it turned out to be amazing. And I saw Dave Filoni sitting a few rows in front of me, and I had to get a photo and chat with him for a moment. So that was fun. But yeah, Godzilla. Dave's all about Godzilla. So
I'm ready for the next Godzilla sequel. After
they're doing
minus
some
one,
great
that was
stuff
unreal.
with that stuff.
Yeah,
I think the next one's going to be off the chain. The first one was really insane and amazingly done, but I think they're going to step it up.
yeah. Look, after the success of the last one, I'm sure there's going to be a new stream coming.
And are we referring to Godzilla -1, or are we referring to the Godzilla Kong?
Godzilla -1, right? Exactly.
Okay,
Right.
We had the Godzilla and
there's everything is Shin here
in Kong.
So I had that in my head. But yeah, the guy who the director and VFX lead was at the premiere, and he did a Q&A, but he was also at Celebration this weekend. I don't remember what he did exactly, but he was. I saw some video of him talking to somebody.
He was on the live stage talking to. I don't remember her name. She was off the shorter one that was there that she new this year, I think.
They brought her on because she
speaks Japanese.
Yeah,
they did the whole interview in Japanese, and then translated it. But
he had interpreters for the Q&A. So, but it's a great mix of stuff, and I'm sure Dave's borrowing ideas from everything kaiju that he saw over the weekend. And we'll see
I'm
where
curious
that goes.
to see if this trip informs any of the content coming, because other than Visions, there didn't seem to be anything specifically Japanese inspired necessarily, but who knows? I mean, everything Star Wars sort of has its roots in samurai and whatnot. So
it's all based on Kurosawa's stuff.
Yeah. Well, all right. You were at the first panel, the Starfighter panel, or the Mando Grogu panel where they announced Starfighter.
I didn't get tickets for that one, but we were standing outside listening to part of it. And I heard complaints that it was too short. But I did hear about a lot of what happened at that panel when I was at the live stage, because Dave and Pedro came out, and John and Sigourney came out, and they were showing photos, and we saw those little droids walking around.
And Sean Sean and Ryan came out
Yeah,
too.
Sean and Ryan were on that stage as well. I got some good photos of them. So they came out and talked about their new movie, and that was fun. But that was on the live stage as well. I saw mostly stuff on the live stage.
Yep.
Great place to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, except it was so packed. One of the photos I posted to the drive was trying to get as wide of a shot as I could, and people were deep into the aisles all around there. I was taking I got to put together like a time lapse where I took a few shots thinking it was crowded, and then a little while later I'd be like, oh crap, and I take another shot thinking it was crowded, and then another shot thinking it was crowded, until it got just packed.
You
So,
could see that on the live stream, how
right.
densely packed it was around that stage.
We were literally in this island just surrounded by billions of people. It seemed it was interesting because we were up on the medical riser with our getting a better view, so that was nice, especially give my foot a break. And not have to sort of fight for your position down in the front. Although when I was at the very front on that rail was nice. It was kind of comfortable there, but still not ideal. I did like being up close.
Yeah, from what I could tell, it seemed like crazy crowded. But I don't remember Chicago 2019 being nearly as crowded at the live stage that and it's progress. I feel like every year it's gotten progressively crazier, because we had a screen in the green room that had a live feed to the live stage, because we were constantly shuffling actors to and from the live stage, and everyone's segment is 5 minutes, which is like the biggest lie in the world. They're all on there for like 20 minutes, and they wait there 20 minutes beforehand, and then they dick around for 20 minutes afterwards, so they're gone for an hour. So every single person who needed to go to the live stage, we had to start building in like an hour of time to get everything situated for them. So the live stage has sort of taken on a life of its own, as it were.
Yeah, people have finally realized that's where they can get the close-up views of everybody.
That's the value. Yeah, so it was fun too, because during the Sigourney John portion, I kept trying to be obnoxious, as I do, and not, you'll wave when you think the camera's pointing at you. They had given out lightsabers that lit up if they wanted to control them, sort of like a Taylor Swift concert. But they also light up, you can control yourself. So I had mine, and we were positioned in between the two chairs of the interviewees, and so I was waving my lightsaber right between them. You could see it in a lot of the shots, and I think the cameramen were getting annoyed with me, so finally they just put the camera straight on me, and I had that side view on the live stream of me looking extremely happy. So
I saw a few people send the picture of you on the live stream stage, or the live stage stream.
And
Spencer was on there once.
Spencer
too.
made it on from a different angle in a different stage. I think, I don't know if that was live stage or not.
And one of the pictures of you, I think I saw also a little bit of Layla.
Yeah, the one I posted, it's my profile, and I'm looking up because we're looking at the screen above the stage, not the stage proper. So I'm way craned, and she's right next to me in the shot doing the same thing and looking as happy as I am. So that was cool. And then you can see April's hair sort of over my shoulder.
I thought that was April behind you.
So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that day. And then the next 2 days we did a little cosplay here and there, and hit up a panel here and there, and tried to look around as much as we could. But that's a pretty big space, and they used most of it. There was maybe I would call it a businessman's convention, because all the attendees were very proper Japanese businessmen attire. And they were walking around going, what the heck is going on down the hall? So they had one hall to themselves, and it was very sparse in terms of what was in there. And it was all very proper people in suits and ties. And, we would come in from the side across the bridge from the hotel, which is nice and conveniently located, like a 5-minute walk. And they would just be amazed at what was coming through. So it was fun.
I mean, it sounds incredible. I'm looking at the time real quick. You have 2 minutes, Jeff, before you have to get rolling. So what do you want to tell everyone who is back in America? Either your number one favorite moment or something you want to share with the group as you get ready to head home.
I just am happy for all the announcements they made. I love that Sean, specifically said that they're in pre-production. They're not just talking about this this project that's actually starting, production soon, hopefully. And that's one of the things I think they got the most flack from, was doing all these great announcements and then not following through. So if we can get all the stuff that they announced, I'd be really happy. The fact that they kept Sigourney kind of a secret, I thought was really cool, because I hadn't heard any rumblings of her being in that movie until this weekend. And so I look forward to that a lot. It's great to have these amazing actors in Star Wars properties. But just overall, it was an amazing time hanging out with the VCN family, meeting new people, hanging out with people that I know through other channels, Star Wars related. Is mostly what I did, was a lot of hanging out. So it was fun, and I had a great time, and I, appreciate everybody, was hanging out with. And anybody who helped me while I was in cosplay, especially, because that can be a real bummer. But before we go here, I'm going to kick my, whoops. Where am I? Here we go. I'm going to change my view slightly and show you guys what my hotel room view is. It actually got a little less sunny. So I'm on the 25th floor of the APA Tokyo Bay, and this is the West Bay, I believe it's called. I don't know if it's the actual term, but you can see there's a road and a bay and like a sports field down there and a bunch of other buildings. But it's a nice little view. We had a great view of Tokyo from the other hotel, the Godzilla Hotel, Hotel Gracery. So I posted a photo of sunrise from there, and that was really cool. An amazing angle to see the city, and at night it looks so cool. It's just it's like anime come to life. So if you're into anime, whoops, what's this thing? Camera's acting wacky. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna get out of here before my phone blows up. And you guys have a great show, and I look forward to watching it later and catching up with the other episodes and seeing everybody who was here back in the States, and seeing everybody else in LA in 2 years, or at the family vacation, or in August in Texas.
Let's go.
Are you going to Dallas, Jeff? Are you going to Dallas?
I have a airfare and a hotel booked, I believe.
I will see you in August, my friend. I'm excited.
Yeah.
There's news coming on that front too, now that we have made it out of Celebration Alive. Coming very soon. People are going to want to go to what I thought was Houston, but it turns out it's Dallas. This whole time, I think I've said Houston a dozen times until you corrected me last night, Sherry.
I know. I kept typing Dallas.
And I was like, girl, it's in Houston. What are you talking about? The thing's been in Dallas the whole time.
It's actually in Frisco.
Frisco's the real city.
Frisco, Texas.
Yeah. So look, no one follow me. Just I'm headed to Texas. That's as details as it's getting. We're going to Rebel Scum Con, I think. So
yes,
it's going to be a great time. Yeah.
I met the guy who runs it. He was very cool. He was at Not So, and then
is that Kentucky?
Oh, nice.
Or Bobby? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kentucky is Kentucky was there. Bobby was staying behind. Those guys are awesome.
So, all right, you guys have a great one. Thanks for having me.
Safe travels, Jeff.
See everybody Thursday. Also, Tuesday in the Zoom. I'm trying to get in there, so we'll see you then.
Oh, Mark and I'll be there.
All right, bye-bye. See ya.
All right, I'm going. Oh, we could leave this on for a minute while I figure out how to present our slides.
I do have something. We'll get to it later. That was a post-celebration tease to an LA celebration confirmation.
Oh. I think it works. Okay. Yes. Look at that. All right. So let's not forget Bryce's tease. I'm going to move through the slides relatively quickly because we've done a lot of this, but I just want to get your opinion, all of you guys, on like, you know, the big sweeping news. I just made it the big news. All right, is it? Why can't I go? There we go. Okay. All right. The first big news was Starfighter. Oh, it's gonna crop in a way that everything gets cut. Son of a bitch. All right. Either way, Ryan Gosling, Sean Levy, new movie, May 2027, set after episode 9. Very exciting stuff. It seems like the internet is excited about this one. There's already memes. There's already that little Starfighter Ken. What do you guys think?
I think this was the biggest news of the con. I mean, because, there have been rumors about it and everything, and them to come out. And yes, it is happening because it is in pre-production. So it's not like the Ray movie that who knows if we'll ever see that.
We will get it, Sherry. We will get it.
Colin Trevorrow's movie was in pre-production for 2 years when they pulled the plug.
No, don't tell me that. I do think if they don't land this one, Ryan Gosling is too famous. Like, it's
Yes.
rare they announce a famous actor for Star Wars. Like, even in TV, it's like A- level or B+ level, or someone who's prestige, but like not someone whose name is above the title, like $100 million star. Ryan Gosling is one of the most famous actors on the planet right now, right? Like, they can't fuck this up.
Didn't they say he's like a supporting role, and then he's like a mentor to like a 15-year-old kid or something like that?
It wouldn't surprise me if it's a multi-generational thing and there's like a
Heard
kid
something
who's
about
going to
that, right?
become like, a
Like his own
starfighter.
version, like maybe Sean Levy's, Star Wars version of the Adam Project or something.
Possibly. They didn't give us a lot. They didn't give us any plot details, really.
No.
But yeah, I think, AJ thinks it's very very much happening.
If he is a starfighter pilot, then they, depending, how long is this one after Rise? Did they say how many years?
They just said set after episode 9, but they
Yeah,
didn't give a
it's
time
right
frame.
after.
If they set it far enough, you could have Poe in this movie too, and we could have, pilots competing. Who's a better pilot?
Yeah, I like that. I think bringing in Poe, that was one of my pitches on the first day. Bring in
And I've
Oscar
heard
Isaac.
that some say that this might be their what they're doing instead of Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron.
Yeah, taking
Their
those
version.
streams,
They
or
still need to
even
make that movie.
I agree. I think they still do need to make that movie. I think the Rangers of the New Republic probably had some interesting stories that they could weave into this.
Yeah, it depends
Mhm.
on.
You bring in
'Cause that-
Carson Teva.
Yeah, there's definitely a world out there that they could, slot in. Yeah, here we go. Starfighter will officially take place a few years after the Rise of Skywalker.
Okay,
All right, thank you,
close out.
AJ. I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Yeah, they
Alright.
didn't give us an exact time, but that's close enough. And yeah, Chantel, I like the idea. Starfighter Academy. It could be cool. We're always
Yeah,
teaching
there
Jedi.
you go.
Let's do an academy for
So
Mhm.
that eliminates the possibility of Poe then.
after
it's
Rise of
only a few-
Skywalker.
If it's only a few years. Oh wait, is it after Rise or is it after?
Yeah.
It's after,
After
Rise.
Rise.
Oh, after Rise. Okay, maybe. Okay, let's see. Okay, I thought that's interesting. I thought they would want to get the the Ray thing before that if they're still making it, because that would
Mhm.
be, to see what the stat. Because I assume that the Starfighter movie would comment on what's going on in the, the greater galaxy at the time.
They could make a mention of Poe or even have a cameo.
Yeah, Poe could definitely
Like
have a
what's going
cameo
on
in
with the
this.
Jedi.
I think this is going to live separate, though. I think
Mhm.
because it's not an episode movie, so it's going to live in that same genre as Solo and Rogue One. It's going to have its own place in the Star Wars lore. So I don't think they necessarily need to even mention Rey. The Rey movie is going to be completely separate from this. So
Yep. Still in development. Well, good luck to her, and everyone involved.
She's going to age out of it.
Well, they said it was going to be a decade later, so they may get there in real time. That's what's so funny.
right,
Um,
yeah, it's true.
All right, Mando Grogu. We already know this is coming, but they gave us that new logo. I put up a couple pictures that we saw from the panel. There's Pedro in the costume. There's Favreau holding the puppet. There's Sigourney Weaver dressed like a fighter pilot, and apparently her character was a fighter pilot in the Rebellion, and now she's continuing to be a fighter pilot in this time period, even though I guess there's a New Republic group. There's not a Resistance yet because there isn't a First Order, but there is a New Republic.
And Zeb.
And Zeb.
The trailer they had up was pretty good.
So
Yeah.
so speaking of Zeb, and this is, I think, where the movies and stuff are starting to tie together. Zeb, we obviously know, is going to be in Mandalorian Grogu,
Mhm.
but Zeb was also confirmed to be in Ahsoka season 2 as well.
Yes, that's right.
So, like, that's cool that, here we had him in Mando season 3. Now we're getting him in Mandalorian Grogu, and now we're getting him in Ahsoka with the rest of basically the rebels. And one thing that was pointed out during the animation thing is that Dave had pointed out specifically on the poster Zeb and Callus.
hmm
So maybe we'll get a live action Callus somewhere.
Oh, it's got to be a hot Callus, though.
Yeah.
I think,
Absolutely.
so, yeah, I think that's coming too. So that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I would like to see what happens to all the rebels after Rebels, especially with the two of them. I feel like they were two of the lesser developed compared to the others. Like, we know where they end up at the end, but I'm curious to see how Zeb is over here, how he got teamed up with Mando. And then eventually there's got to be the movie that ties it all together. After Ahsoka season 2, we still have to deal with like the Thrawn, Mando, Ahsoka, Avengers movie, as we keep calling it. So there's still a lot to do on this front, but I think this is really promising. Sigourney seemed like she was thrilled to be included. Pedro was thrilled to be there in his little short shorts with his slutty knee, as we always talk about. So,
And I did love how he did give props that he wasn't the only Mando, that there was Brandon and Lateef also involved.
He did say that on the live stage. That was very classy, and it was early on too. It wasn't like someone had probed for it. He threw that out there right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to put the trailer back up, because they uploaded it on the official Star Wars YouTube channel, and it wasn't there very long, but it was 72 seconds, and I watched it. It was pretty good.
It's gone now?
And they took it down. It's gone. I can't find it. I don't know where it is.
That is strange.
It was like but they did something similar. Like, they took down all of the live stream, the full celebration live stream videos, and they've since re-uploaded the day 2 stream, but not the day 1 or the day 3. So I'm not sure what they're doing.
I don't know what's going on over there. There are days when I'm like, I don't have a clue. Meanwhile, I thought this news was really surprising. The Maul Shadow Lord. There were some people who told me they had heard rumblings of an animated Maul show, and I was like, I heard the characters coming back, but I didn't think he was getting his own show. But girl, he's getting his own show. What does everyone think?
I'm loving this.
I would like it if they use it to fill in the gaps, because, like, I know they put out that comic Son of Dathomir connecting, when he got caught by Sidious to when he shows up in season 7. But you know what? That would have been great to see that animated. So you could just so there's a continuity in the in the show, and then of course I take it most of Shadow Lord is probably going to lead into how he ended up on Malachor, right?
Got to, right?
Maybe.
I mean, I think isn't it set in between Clone Wars and Rebels?
I don't know.
I think it is, because I think this is post season 7.
Yeah.
Of Clone Wars, and then
So
the
Red
lead up
Dawn,
to Rebels.
or Crimson Dawn, right? Crimson Dawn.
Yeah.
All that. So yeah, and
animated Kira, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be cool. And who was the guy from Solo, the villain, the blonde guy, Paul Bettany's character?
Dryden Voss.
Dryden Voss. Yep. They made a model for him in Clone Wars season 7. He was in a hologram, and they never did anything with it. He was just in a background hologram. So I was like, well, that seemed pointless. But maybe there's something there. Also, AJ is saying that the content's back up from days 1, 2, and 3, so that's good. And JD is saying, yes, it takes place after Clone Wars, so that's great news. And then Chantel says that we heard that he's going to have an apprentice, which I thought I saw like a dark side, red-skinned Twi'lek. Am I imagining that?
Yes, I thought someone said that might be Darth Talon.
Yes, that's the one. So I don't know how canon was that in there. There really wasn't.
She was an EU character, but I don't know if she was around at this time. I thought she was an older character, so
Yeah,
this might be their way of bringing that character into
right.
canon.
That could be cool. And look, there's always a chance that Asajj pops in. We are going to see her in Tales of the Underworld. So I'm excited about that. That starts in less than 2 weeks, right on May the 4th. Cad Bane, Asajj Ventress, they each get 3 minisodes. This was part of the Lucasfilm 20th anniversary panel. Nothing really additional here, but just a reminder of the date. And we're going to do a watch along of some sort. I feel like we as a channel just need to do like a watch along coverage after the fact, but probably like a single episode that covers everything like right away.
And they drop these all at once, do they not? For the Tales of the Jedi.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll be like a 2-hour movie kind of thing.
And you know what? I can't remember if they streamed that panel or not, but the poster they put out for Lucasfilm Animation, they even had characters from Star Wars Detours in the poster.
They did.
I
didn't notice that.
In the bottom right corner, and I'm like, that's nice that they threw that in there.
I'm sure Seth Green is still pissed. But what can you do?
But I thought that was cool though that the animators gave a shout out to it because it wasn't their decision not to release it. So it's like
exactly.
Still, gave it a shout out.
I wish they would just put that on Disney Plus and just put it in the vintage section. Like Legends or whatever we want to call it.
It's kosher because George, his policy when he let people do Star Wars is like you do it as long as it's family friendly. So it's not like it's not family friendly. So it would work.
Maybe for the 50th they'll unlock other things, and someone will dust that off and be like, what never happened. That could be really fun. Maybe that 1313 show they'll release that trailer somewhere too. That could be all sorts of fun stuff. Being like,
that was supposed to be a video game too.
There was a video game for that also.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
Was there a TV show that was supposed to be?
I think it was rumored it was going to go from so the original concept was a video game, and it was all about the curse on Underworld. But
because I remember seeing the reels from the game when they were in the concept art, and they were saying that we're working on it, and
it looked amazing. And then
they came so close to hitting the release date.
Yeah, that process completely died.
I remember seeing clips from the actual show.
Oh, I didn't.
I feel like I watched something on YouTube. I mean,
they might have switched it to a show, but I just know the original concept, and it's been a long time, was a video game.
Yeah, it's got to be 10 years ago minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't remember it being good. What I watched, and I was like, oh, it's a good thing they didn't launch this.
13 years because George Lucas was still running Lucasfilm when they were making that video game.
Oh wow, that would have been at least 13 years ago. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So day 2 kicked off with the Andor panel, and they watched the first episode. So the panel itself was really short. From what we saw as guests, or not guests, as attendees watching, not as non-attendees watching on YouTube, we got very little. They said the season is going to be great, and it's going to be out next week. So there wasn't really much else than that. Mm-hmm. And then everyone came out to do interviews on the live stage and talked about what an incredible experience it was. Everyone talked about their characters. I thought that Denise and Kyle were particularly great on the live stage. I thought that Denise crushed it and talked about rising up against fascism. She actually talked about politics in the world. I thought Mon Mothma, Genevieve as usual, was elegant and graceful and looked like fucking Mon Mothma, right? It was the kind of thing where I was like, oh, you are this lady. It was great, and Diego was thrilled to be there. And you could also see, I think everyone was just so sad that it was ending. Oh, did you lose me?
No, you're still here.
My volume is I think I have too many things open and my Wi-Fi is struggling. But yeah, I thought that the excitement for Andor felt really, really real.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
You guys ready for next week?
For tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess it is. It really happens tomorrow, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We also got an announcement about a video game Zero Company.
Yep.
Bryce, this looks right up your alley.
Yeah, it's from Bit Reactor, the same studio. I know we talked about it, I think, on Saturday a little bit too. Studio did XCOM, which is a strategy-based, turn-based game where you put your kind of put your pieces on the board, come up with the best strategy, to defeat your opponent. Very cool. Like Bit Reactor, like XCOM. If you ever played it, it was a great game. I think they did XCOM and XCOM 2. There was a sequel to that game. This is right in their wheelhouse. I think it's going to be a slam dunk. Definitely one that I'll be picking up and playing for sure.
And it's Clone Wars, which that time period,
characters from all over. Yeah, Diego Luna's in it, as you can see.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I don't know if it's really him, but
I mean, it certainly looks
it
like
looks so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks prequel oriented for the most part, which that's the time period that seems to be winning the day at the moment. So yeah, a lot of video game news actually. We also heard about this Old Republic game, Legends of the Sith. So I never played Knights of the Old Republic, but I know so many people who are obsessed.
Yeah, KOTOR's a sore subject with a lot of people because it's supposed to be being remastered or reworked from Aspire, but that's one of those games that may or may not happen. But yeah, this is like an expansion to the Old Republic, which the game is still out there. You can still play it. I think it's just PC only, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, looks really cool.
Yeah. And again, I get Darth Bane front and center. Let's see that trilogy. That'd be great.
The other big news from day 2 was everything coming out of the Ahsoka panel. They confirmed a lot of things that I think we had suspected. One, that Hayden Christensen is coming back, which is great. And he said as Anakin, though I think Bryce and I have very specific theories that he might also be the Mortis father. I made sure the Mortis picture over there, the statues, were front and center, or the big picture on the slide, because Dave said that they are going to Mortis and they're going to unlock that mystery, whatever that means. He kept that very vague, but we are going to Mortis. They also talked about Rory taking over the role of Baylan Skull, and getting the sign off from Rey's family and everything.
That's so huge.
I mean, that felt really classy, and I felt like the right way to do that. And yeah. Oh yeah, Lonnie, come on now. Akbar versus Thrawn. What did you guys think about that? Like,
bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of that. That's, I mean, the best admiral in the Republic versus the best in the Empire, right there. Like, I want to watch that cat fight.
That's how they should have introduced Thrawn to begin with a military campaign type movie or something, Because in Ahsoka, he just kind of stands around and doesn't get to do anything. It's like, no, let's see him, show the casual fans who haven't read the original Thrawn trilogy or those books, like what this guy's all about and what he is, That'll be great. And like Dave said, the thing which I was most excited by for season 2 is he says that half the season is going to be a full-blown war. And it's like, yes.
Yeah. I want some big action, because there was a lot of like traveling to try to get places to rescue someone, and now Ahsoka's left behind. I don't know. There's a lot happening in that show, and I know it was a little bit divisive for people. I liked it. I didn't love it. I'm excited about season 2, though. I think all the threads they pulled, like all the open questions, I'm really excited to find the answers. So I think they teed up something really interesting, even if they didn't deliver something that I loved at the first go round, if that makes sense. I feel like, you're reading a book and you're halfway through and you're like, the first half's pretty good, but I'm really excited to see where it goes. Like, that's kind of where I am on this one. And JB said it was a great panel. I agree. When I watched this one back, Rosaria was thrilled to be there. Her interview on the live stage was great. She really brought the energy. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready for Ahsoka season 2. And of course, I had to put this in again. Chopper with a gun, ready to shoot people. Let's go.
Our favorite murder droid.
My money's on Nelson Lee. That's who's in the targeting right there. So Senator Giono.
So that's where you have here or somebody saying, "Say hello to my little friend." Then you get Chopper rolling rounding the corner with the.
And Rosaria did say we were getting more Hera too. So
yes,
that's great.
Yep.
I'm excited about that. More rebels everywhere. And then, oh man, are the Visions people eating well? Like, there's so much happening in this space.
Yeah, this one I don't. I don't know. I watched the whole first season of Visions and only made it through half of the second season. It's just not my thing, but I know that people who love this kind of animation are just thrilled to death about what's coming up in volume 3.
Yeah, I find the Visions to kind of be hit or miss in terms of which ones I like. Like the Ninth Jedi was really great, and that's why they did the expansion. Because didn't that also get a novel? Or one of the original Ronin. Yeah, that was great. That it's like that was the best episode of the first season, and that gave that the novel extension, which is cool too.
Yep.
October 29th.
Yep, coming this October. And then there's the Ninth Jedi you were just referencing. Yeah, this was my favorite episode from the first season, and of course the Ronin episode's incredible too. I just love the swerve on this one, and I don't know what they're gonna do with making this a limited series, but I'm excited to see what they're gonna turn it into because oh man, I was telling this one to my husband because he didn't remember me watching Visions, and I was like, I watched it once and I never really watched it, but the only one I talked about was the one with all the red blades. And when I reminded him of like the twist ending, he was like, "Oh, right, that one." So I feel like that's the one that people remember. So yeah, I don't know where we go from here, but I'm excited that there's a whole bunch of red-bladed Force users out and about.
Right.
Is that from the first season or the second season?
That episode, that the little picture at the bottom right-hand corner, is from the first season. But they'll be expanding off that story into this new standalone miniseries, which I think that one's coming in 26.
Yeah.
So we get series 3 or volume 3 this October, and then the Ninth Jedi spinoff comes in 26.
Now I may have to go and give that a rewatch and give it another chance, especially if they're having this new series come out.
Start with the Ronin, play the Ninth Jedi. I think those are the best ones. Kat, you like the Ronin one?
Yeah, Ronin
Yep.
and the Ninth Jedi
Rose,
were really good.
my favorite too.
Yeah. If you start there, those are the best ones. And then if you don't make it through the others, they're less critical since Ronin has other content and Ninth Jedi is going to get the spinoff. Oh, and the one with the duel. The one is the duel the Ronin one? That's a different one also. Because the duel has the sequel one coming.
That's a different one, I think. That's the one in the hill up in the mountains.
I think so.
I think that's a good one too. I think that's another.
Yeah,
that's
I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So and the thing about Visions is that they're it's anthology, so it's like if you don't like certain ones, you can just stop. Pick whichever. Pick your poison. But
Right.
I can't. I'd have to go back and glance over all the titles because, I found a couple of them that I liked, and others were just like, eh.
Yeah, it was a little all over the place for me.
The pod racing one was really bad. The second one.
Yeah.
That was the second one from season 1 right out of the gate. Like, no.
And push that one to the back.
You guys convinced me. I'll give them a second chance.
Yeah. I think there's a selection within that first season that are really strong. And then we also found out there's a lot of video game news. So Fortnite, and this starts up really soon. So starting on May 2nd, there's a Fortnite expansion with Star Wars. And it goes all the way through June. So there's going to be 5 campaigns or whatever they call it, different characters and activities happening in Fortnite. I don't do it, but I understand the kids do. And this is one of the biggest video games on the planet. So good on them for getting involved in this. Is anyone here a Fortnite player?
No.
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 Yeah, there was really no one in our chat yesterday either.
There were people on this live stage dressed like that weird looking Wookiee.
Yeah.
Yes.
They were dancing.
That was definitely a PR stunt, and that was definitely planned. That was not organic, because that was definitely to tie into. Yeah. All right. So AJ, if you play off and on, what the game. It's basically a shooter game, in a lot of ways, but you can do tons of different stuff. You go on campaigns. I was just saying the other day they added Sabrina Carpenter as a player, like the singer, and she plays music and stuff. So Fortnite's really creative, if nothing else. And there's the movie now, which apparently is causing havoc in theaters, unfortunately, because of the tweens, youths.
That's Minecraft.
Oh, that's Minecraft. Yeah. See, I don't know. There we go. I'm messing them all up. But
I don't know. When I thought Fortnite was about the dancing. It just seems like I remember when it first came out and it was all like these dancing characters. and they had different dances in the game. But I'm not a gamer, so what do I know?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what game that would be. But yeah, Fortnite, for everyone who's interested, big stuff coming. And then Rebuild the Galaxy, another show coming this September. So if we look at our calendar, Andor starts tomorrow. And by the way, we'll still have happy hour tomorrow. And then I think people will break to go watch Andor. But Andor starts tomorrow. We've got Tales of the Underworld on May the 4th. We've got Rebuild the Galaxy, Pieces of the Past in September. And then we have Visions Volume 3 in October. This Rebuild the Galaxy thing it seems like its own standalone story. And Ashley Eckstein is returning to voice Ahsoka Tano. Ahmed Best is going to voice Jar Jar, and I think specifically Darth Jar Jar. And then there's all sorts of other crazy characters as well, including the returning lead, Bobby Moynihan. So it's going to be a good time.
And I think there was a small thing, and I totally forgot about this the other day. Young Jedi Adventures Season 3 is also, I believe, in September as well.
Yeah, we got a date for that. Okay, I love that show. Yeah,
it's great. That's great.
Nubs was a big hit in Japan. Everyone getting pictures with Nubs. Grown ass men like trampling people to get photos with Nubs.
Mike.
Oh, I would have been doing
Mike.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Mike Delicard. How many children were killed for you to get this photo?
Right.
Lonnie, I'm planning on watching all 3 episodes tomorrow night in one swoop.
I'm doing 1, and then I'm doing another 2 on Wednesday, and then I'll be on the watch along on Thursday, and then I have a convention to go to this whole weekend. So I'm going to Chiller, which is a horror convention. We're halfway to Halloween basically at this point, so there's always a convention like an April, like sort of halfway to Halloween situation. So that convention's happening, and I'll be away. But normally I'll be hosting the Friday watch-alongs for Andor, since we're going to be doing 2 nights. And then I put everything on one slide as a reminder of like what they told us. Starfighter was obviously the biggest news. We already knew about the Mando Grogu movie coming out in May of 26, but like having a 50th anniversary movie just makes a lot of sense. The Maul TV show, I think they also said was 26. Andor Season 2 obviously starts tomorrow. Vision Season 3 in October. Ninth Jedi in 2026. The Old Republic video game expansion. The Minecraft, oh my God, the Fortnite expansion. Zero Company, Rebuild the Galaxy, and of course Ahsoka Season 2 in 2026. This is a good amount of stuff. When you put it all on one slide, I mean, it's a lot. There's 2 movies, one we knew about, but 2 movies that are in production or pre-production, several TV shows, and then a lot of video games and other ancillary content. Oh, and the Monopoly Go, which I didn't put on there. So plus all the product and everything that there's no shortage of consumer products, that's for sure. What are you guys most excited about on this slide?
Well, Andor.
If we had to pick.
Right now, Andor. I can't look beyond that.
It's hard to, you can't really look beyond Andor.
Yeah.
Obviously, Tales of the Underworld, on May 4th is going to be great too. I feel, I know they wanted to do it May 4th because I thought, what did they drop last year? Was it Tales of the Empire dropped on May 4th last year?
I think it did.
So, yes.
So I know that they've got that tradition, but I feel like with the momentum that Andor has, that it might get a little lost, but it's still there on May the 4th. Which is cool. It's a Sunday.
That's what's missing from the slide. Tales of the Underworld.
Tales, yeah.
I was like, what's that? It's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
But yes, Starfighter, huh?
I mean, I'm so excited about Starfighter. I love Ryan Gosling. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think of all the characters to get a TV show, Darth Maul is like a perfect one for a spinoff. So pumped about Andor. Yeah, it's hard for me to pick too. So look, I'm excited about the way they're going about it right now. I think like it's the right amount of content. It's not overwhelming. It all seems really real. And there are still other things in development that don't have dates, like the Rey movie and whatever else that they said are still in development. So once we start making it a little bit more realistic, it'll jump back in. But yeah, I think this is great stuff. And there's the Monopoly Go, which Ashley loves. I didn't realize she does Monopoly Go. I've never played this game, but it's like you do tasks every day. It's a mobile game. Ashley Eckstein's involved in this too. This lady's everywhere. I'm telling you, she's going to be in Ahsoka season 2.
You never know.
Yeah.
That would be a lovely surprise.
I'd like to see it. I think they need to do something for her in live action Ahsoka as a thank you for like basically building this character with Dave. And I was really shocked that she wasn't in the first season. So I think they were like, oh, we're going to hold back something. And I think that holding back thing is like, we're going to Mortis. We're literally going to turn this woman into a god. She is a god living among us in real life. So let's just make that canon. I know. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on it. And then here's just a little roundup of some of the celebrities that were there. I had to add in the picture of Skip with Ashley and Dave. And by Dave, David Eckstein. So
yeah, I love that he got David into the picture too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like best friends with these guys, wearing our Clone Wars Revisited T-shirt, which is very cool. Yeah, and Daniel Logan was there, Hayden Christensen, Vanessa Marshall, Manny Jacinto. Like you go across the board, like it was a really fun experience. And if you visit the Facebook page, everyone's posting their meet and greet photos, their merch pictures. Like everyone just had such a great time. I'm so ready to do all of this again, but in Texas with a slightly different guest list and a really interesting one, and more to come on that front. So we'll be doing this again soon. Texas. And then the big news. Oh my God, did we bring in new members to the Facebook group? Sherry, are your fingers bleeding from the number of people?
And I mean, I was really surprised. Yesterday, after the con was over, I think we took in almost 2,000 yesterday.
Yeah. My little chopper banner was up for a minute and a half, it seemed. I was so sad. We're going to have to reuse all the droids again because we just flew through them so quickly. Yeah, and Lonnie, I can't tell you how many people are talking to me about 2027 as if that's an acceptable thing to be talking about at this moment. Everyone, like, celebrate the win. I hope everyone had a great time from 2025. Like I said, Spencer called and he's already talking about 27 plans. And I was like, we have so much going on. And then in the next day, like Andor's a day away. We have Andor watch-alongs on the channel. May the 4th is around the corner. And then we're off to San Diego Comic-Con and then Texas. But believe me, the hype is real for 2027. It's going to be really fun.
And I just looked and we're about 40 people away from getting 84,000.
Oh my God, is it that close? Oh man, join. We'll round up, which we have not done yet. We've been waiting realistically each time. So yeah, we're close. Let's see, what else was there to show? Oh yeah, they revealed the 50th logo, which we showed last night as well. Gold and gorgeous. That'll be on every piece of merch that comes out in 2027. So prepare yourself. We did a trading card set for Topps for the 40th, and it was like a silver, and there was also a black and red execution. But yeah, everything's going to be gold for the 50th.
Well, of course.
And then there's the logo and the announcement of Los Angeles.
And I like that it is also kind of gold.
Yeah.
Oh, the logo here is great. I love the color.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Looks a lot like that Starfighter color too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it definitely syncs up. Starfighter had like an orangey kind of yellow to it. JB is saying the Sidekicks panel is a must-watch. We talked a little bit about this last night, and Kat, you saw that panel, and you had some feedback about that panel.
Yeah, Anthony Daniels and Ahmed gave 2 great back-to-back speeches at the end, and then Alan joked how he was going to follow that up. But I was watching it with a friend on the live stream, and Anthony just kept talking and talking and talking, and we're like, somebody else going to be able to talk. And they were they gave Anthony a standing ovation and stuff, and a lot of it was there, but those 2 speeches at the end were really great.
Okay,
it was a very good panel.
I have not watched yet, partially because I'm not a huge fan of Anthony Daniels, and I think everyone knows that. That being, yes, you can. I'm going to put that comment up. We'll just leave that forever. When Anthony Carboni was wrapping him in plastic, I think we were joking about this last time. We were like, "Go, keep going, go into the water." It was definitely
Yeah,
a
him and
moment.
Anthony those two have a love-hate relationship. It's
Yeah.
quite interesting to watch their interactions together.
I think that Carboni is joking and Daniels is not.
Hmm.
And yeah, but either way, I will say they are entertainers, if nothing else. And I do love Anthony Carboni. I miss Andy Gutierrez though. Like I really
Mhm.
do. I wish that
Mhm.
she was involved still, because she was my favorite person hosting all things.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Warwick here this year because he usually hosts a lot of the panels.
Yeah, Vanessa did a lot of the hosting of the panels from what
Yeah.
I saw. Vanessa Marshall was everywhere.
I don't think
She was
Warwick was in Anaheim either. Was he?
What
I
was
don't
yeah? I
think he
don't
was
know.
in Anaheim. I don't remember him being in Anaheim. He
I
was in
can't
Yeah.
London.
he was definitely in London.
I don't
We
remember him being in
had
Anaheim.
In 2019, I think Warwick did a lot of the hosting, and I know
Yeah.
James Earl Taylor was always a good host
Yep.
too. Whenever they did Star Wars weekends, it was usually the two of them because they each had their one-man shows that they did on top of their regular hosting duties. We got to see both of them actually, which was great. But James is a killer host. Like I always tell people, if you need someone to like MC your event, like James Earl Taylor is like the go-to.
Hmm.
Yeah, so LA, here we go. But before LA, it's all about Andor. We have not decided, I think, like what the happy hour is going to look like tomorrow night. Like, will we just keep the Zoom open? We might, but like, I want to go like watch the show, or at least like the first episode, and then come back Wednesday to watch the rest. But like I said, we'll have our watch-alongs. Actually, the Nerf Herders will be on Wednesday to give their first reaction. So they'll actually be the first group on the network to
Yeah.
say something about Andor on a show. And then Thursday night watch along, it'll be Jeff and Dave with me swapping in for Spencer to do episodes 1 and 2. And then Spencer will be on Friday with Sarah and potentially Ashley. But normally I will be hosting Friday, which will be the third episode of the arc. As you can see on here, we have 4 arcs of 3 episodes each, so 4 weeks. So only a month of Andor, which is crazy. Kat, you
Yeah.
said there was a reason for this, something about the Emmys?
Yeah, if you want to
Sherry had
qualify
said
for
something
Emmys,
too.
the show has to be finished by the end of May.
It doesn't
Ah.
have to be finished. They have to show
Yeah.
6 episodes.
How many?
6.
Ah, okay.
But
That makes sense then.
But I was thinking that they are showing all of them before that deadline so that they get the whole series is considered.
That makes sense. Okay.
Hmm. And for the Zoom, I will probably do what we did for Ahsoka, and where we'll be in the Zoom room before the show starts, and then once I've watched the 3 episodes, I will still be in the Zoom. What happens is Jeff and I would usually just mute and turn off our cameras. And then once we watched, we would come back on. And if anybody wanted to join in to talk about it, the room was there and open.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And since I'm retired, I can stay up late.
I like your plan. I'm gonna just text you at like 2 in the morning and be like, girl, what's going on? Because I'm a night owl myself. So and since you have so much free time, you have an official invitation to join us on Friday nights for the watch along if you'd like to join. It's going to be girls' night because it's going to, in general, because it'll be me, Sarah, and Ashley. So if you want to come on Fridays too, I know
I may do 1 or 2 of those.
yeah, they're fun. Sarah's a blast too. All right.
I know.
What else was
Love
there? Oh
Sarah.
yeah. So here's my Tales of the Underworld. That'll be next after we get into Andor. And then yeah, that was everything. Is there anything I missed from Celebration that we needed to make sure we covered? Any news beats?
Oh, not from Celebration. I still got my little teaser.
Oh, yes. Go ahead.
So, Kat, I'm not sure if you remember this since it's been some years. It was a video game announcement from Quantum Dream called Star Wars Eclipse.
Yes, I
We
remember.
got a phenomenal cinematic trailer that just absolutely blew people away.
Yeah.
And took place in the High Republic era. Just some real massive stuff. And then drama comes to the studio. Everyone's like, nope, it's canceled. 24 hours ago, they're X account goes live and just says simply, "Hey there, it's been a while." And then right after that is sign up for updates so you don't miss any exciting news about our next adventure, and post the website for Star Wars Eclipse.
Ooh.
Then it gets even more interesting, is that another Culture Crave, it's like a pop culture account, says the next Star Wars celebration is happening in Los Angeles, April 1st through the 4th, 2027. They reposted that with a quote saying, "See you there."
Nice.
To me, I got goosebumps because that is telling me that we might get. I don't think it'll be. It's possible it could be a 2027 release. They've got time, but it's just, I think it's proof it's not dead, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, because that trailer was amazing.
Yeah, and it's you're gonna be able to play multiple characters. Yeah, you'll be able to play multiple characters. Just the narrative, kind of basically like your KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic type. Be able to take a character and run your own narrative. So it's gonna be a very choice based game, but it's awesome.
I don't remember the specifics of the drama, but I remember there was drama. And I
Yep.
feel like it wasn't even drama. It was like accusations of
Yes.
something nefarious, but I can't remember the details, so I'm not going to say. And I'm not going to Google it right now. But that being said, maybe they have cleaned house in a way that is doable for Disney to continue working with them. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I do lament the many licensees and other partners that have been unable to make things work under Disney. Because if you remember back when Lucasfilm had licenses versus the way Disney has licenses, there are some smaller scale creators and whatnot that are no longer part of the Star Wars ecosystem that were 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Celebration 2015 was the last one for a lot of those small scale manufacturers before the Disney beast sort of envelop them in. Like I always use the example of like if you were a backpack licensee for Star Wars, Disney already has one, and they don't need another one for your brand. When now Star Wars is just a brand within Disney, so a lot of that changed. So I don't know what the latest is with games, but games always seem to somehow operate outside of all that. But if they had something really bad and Disney was like, "We're shutting this down," hopefully this has now been sorted. Because I'm sure a lot of creativity and hard work went into it.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really unique timing that it was after Celebration, and all of a sudden, it comes to life, and that's and then the website, sign up for the updates, and then retweeting, reposting, whatever you want to call it, and saying "see you there." Like, it's well timed, and I'm hoping that is true. Obviously, you guys still got to take it with a grain of salt, but it seemed promising. I thought it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, Kat, Sherry, anything that I may have missed during the show, or anything you want to reiterate?
They did another thing they mentioned at Celebration was like another season of Outlaws for the video game.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, the DLC.
Hondo and Naka.
Yep. That looked really cool.
A Pirate's Fortune.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Look, I love Hondo. Put him in everything. And now he kind of can be, right? Like he was in the Clone Wars, he was in Rebels, so he's in prequel time period, OT time period. We'll call Rebels OT. And then he's also in Galaxy's Edge timing related to the new trilogy. That man must be 100 years old. He's still kicking. And yeah, they're updating A Smuggler's Run, which is his ride, with the Grogu thing, where the engineer has to babysit Grogu, so you can choose if you're going to go to Navarro or Tatooine or somewhere else. They told me last night.
Tatooine.
Coruscant.
Oh, it's Coruscant. We're not going to Tatooine?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying we don't want to go to Tatooine.
Oh, yeah, no, we don't want to go. Yeah, I'm like hardcore, no Tatooine. But yes, you're right, Coruscant. That's right, Bryce, you told me that. So, yeah, that'll be cool. All right, anything else I missed? I
Can't
feel like
think
these
of
are the big
anything.
notes. These are the big ones. So there's probably other small stuff. Oh, that's cool. There's a kid's chapter book of him telling stories on the Millennium Falcon. That's really fun. Highly suggest getting the Ronin and Droid figure. It's going to be fun getting this back, though. Now I feel that. I didn't see a lot of I didn't see a lot of publishing news. Was the one thing. There was a lot of product news, not a lot of publishing. So maybe they're saving that for something else. But there wasn't a lot of High Republic, and I think they're going to be starting a new phase. But I feel like
There
you need
was
to do
Oh, yeah,
one publishing panel that was streamed, but I kind of tuned it out because I was kind of doing something else at the same time. So
Yeah, the two books that are good that are coming are the 50th ILM 50, Years of Magic and Innovation, and then the Doug Chang 2-volume art book, which is in December, which will be releasing December 2nd.
All right, that's awesome. Doug Chang is just fantastic, and I hope everyone got a chance to meet him while he was out there. He doesn't really do the con circuit, so I feel like he would be he's a tough get otherwise. But yeah, I
he
think that's
usually does a
everything.
panel though. So if nothing
Yep.
else, go to his panels.
Yes, without a doubt. What else do we got? I think that was everything. Okay. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us again. This was the final night of Celebration Nightly News. Finally, 5 straight nights of coverage for a 3-day show. But it was fantastic. This has been so much fun. We will obviously do this again for the next big event. I do think we're going to have something like this for Texas, like at least a recap video one of the nights or something, because like it's going to feel like that big, or 2 of the nights, because I feel like there's going to be stuff happening. So much more to come, but don't forget to tune in this week for Andor, Thursday and Friday for the watch alongs, and the Nerf Herders being on Wednesday to do their Andor review. And of course, don't forget to watch Andor tomorrow. So and join the happy hour on Zoom. So it'll be a ton of fun. All right. I think that's it for the nightly news crew and for all of us at the VCN. All right, everyone, have a great week ahead. And as always, may the force be with you.
Bright
Force
suns,
Beauty.
everyone.